So down to business, Dad. You and the companies are in the media a lot. Did you feel like your book was a way of setting the story straight and saying stories in your word? Or were you not thinking of it like that?
The media plays an incredibly important role, and you know, it doesn't always tell the stories exactly as we'd like them to be told. But you know, I would say 99% of the time we have a sort of a relatively fair press on a global basis. But obviously they can't tell the stories in depth, and you know, and we've had some, you know, fascinating battles. I mean, obviously in losing my virginity, we had the battles with British Airways and the Dirty Tricks campaign. In finding my virginity, we've had, you know, the battles to get Virgin Galactic up and running. We've had, you know, the tears when the accident took place. You know, we've now come back again, and are tantalisingly close to being, you know, the first private company in history to put people into space. So. So we're, you know, so we're just about there, and you know, and what I've tried to do is tell the story, interweave the story of, you know, the, you know, very much those difficult moments that we went through when things go wrong, as well as the happy moments when things go right.
You actually have just answered my next question, which was what are the sort of business areas that you were most excited about writing? Are there any others that you loved writing about as well?
Well, I mean, I suppose we're very, 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 very lucky that because I have this inquisitiveness for life, and I can't say no. In fact, there was a time I remember when Holly was about 8, and she was with a group of friends, and I overheard her saying, Dad will always say yes to everything. If I said, Dad, I'm going to go and jump over that cliff, he would say, that's fine, darling. Just you know, just go and do it. And
it's actually true. He's always said yes to everything, and it's not just because I'm his daughter.
But saying yes to everything can get you into trouble, but it also has meant that that working for Virgin, I mean, Virgin's become a ridiculously exciting company to work for, and you know, people one day maybe have worked for a record company, they may, you know, move on to work for a train company, may move on to work for an airline, move on to work for a mobile phone company, you know, health companies and so on. And also, you know, we are pioneering very exciting new technologies. So, you know, one of the our latest adventures is Virgin Hyperloop, and you know, I think it is going to be the future of one very important aspect of transportation, and I'm now, you know, spending a lot of time flying around the world, to India, to Dubai, you know, to China, to other countries, making sure that we get this new company up and running, and start sort of connecting people from, you know, between cities at tremendous speeds. And
I love the idea of the possibility of there being a hyperloop between Heathrow and Gatwick, as opposed to the big worry about where would their third runway be. That would just make one big airport.
I mean, yeah, so the dream would be you just run a line from London, miss out, you know, you know, like a sort of 6 minutes run from London to Heathrow. The pod goes straight to the JFK gate, another pod goes straight to the you know, Tokyo gate, or, you know, carry on another 6 more minutes to Gatwick. You can go to Gatwick, or, you know, connect Stansted 10 minutes away. So it all becomes effectively one giant airport, and you can do away with the time getting to the airport, and then when you get to the airport, you can do away with the 1.5 hours, you know, going through the airport and all the processes. And I think, you know, that it's going to be, you know, that'll be the future, I think.
It does sound so futuristic, and I think that's something that you're amazing at, is not getting daunted by these big ideas, but actually thinking they're a possibility. Because I know a lot of people who have got those pitch decks in front of them would have looked at them and gone, that's never going to be able to happen. Whereas you actually look at them and think, wow, that's amazing, let's make that happen.
Oh, well, you know only too well how the board of Virgin gulp when I say screw it, let's do it, especially on these projects that cost hundreds of millions of dollars. But it's only really private companies that can actually, invest in these really long-term projects, and you only live once. And as I said to Holly earlier, if there's no money left, she'll be able to write a great new book, which she'll be able to sell. So we're anyway, we're having
a half-hearted chuckle just then.
We're having fun. I'm sorry, I've signed up to the Giving page. Another quote, Bill Gates, a terrific read. So she's not getting anything anyway, but she can
That's
earn
why
her
I'm
own
working
money.
hard. So within your life, you're just doing a lot of advocacy work, whether it be climate change or drug reform, doing stuff for ex-offenders. Do you ever worry that you're going to alienate readers with your very public views on these topics?
I think as long as you do what you 100% believe in, and as long as you can sleep well about what you're doing, then I'm not worried about it. But you've got to say what you believe in, and then argue your position. Drug reform. I'm on the Global Drug Commission, and we argue very strongly, the whole Drug Commission, with one voice, that drugs should be regulated, and that people who take drugs, should be, if they have a problem from taking drugs, they should be helped, and they should not be criminalised. And again, some people will agree, some people will disagree, but again, we're just saying what we believe. As a group of companies at Virgin, as you well know, we take on a lot of ex-prisoners, and we're trying hard to get other companies to take on ex-prisoners. Again, we believe it's the right thing to do, and we will stick our neck out and say it. And I think this applies to a lot of causes. But I think as a family, we're fortunate that by and large we agree on these things.
Yeah, and are very passionate about them.
And are very passionate about them.
So you've always been an adventurer, and in the book you list the 75 near misses you've had. They're like really near misses. Could you please take it a bit slower now? I would love you to be around for our grandchildren, your grandchildren, and do you think you will take it any slower, or do you think you're still looking for that and thriving for that adventure?
I'll take it slower until I'm 70, and then as I get older, there's nothing to lose. So I think I'll speed up.
There's a lot to lose. You've got another 30 years of life after that.
All right, I'll do as I'm told on this one. I think my life and your life, I think, wouldn't have been as interesting if we hadn't pushed the boat out on occasions. And she asked me to take it slower. I mean, she's climbed Mont Blanc, tried to break the record for the fastest boat across the Atlantic, hit a big storm.
You've been with me on all of these occasions.
Traveled 2,000 kilometres on bikes and trekking across Europe, climbing Mont Blanc this year. So anyway, as a family, we do love adventure, and I think life's too short not to say yes to the. I mean, I just couldn't sit back and watch other people doing some of these wonderful adventures. And
no, I agree. Everyone should push themselves out of their comfort zones, but my risk to enjoyment ratio is slightly different.
Well, you've also got twins, so that
you
makes
had young children too, when you did the big blue.
Yeah, but my children weren't that important. I mean, actually, on a serious note on that one, it is a real dilemma when you do have children. I mean, I think somehow or another, because I had such a wonderful wife with Joan, I felt that even if the worst came to the worst, that you'd had this really special mum, and that she'd be able to bring you up. I think, yeah, and of course, in losing my virginity, I actually wrote you a letter just in case, in case something did happen, pointing that out. But
yes, I know, because the first time I read that book was the first time I'd ever seen that letter.
well, you weren't meant to see the letter unless something happened to me.
But I was so emotional reading it. I never got past the first page of the book and didn't pick it up again for another 10 years.
They, yeah, well.
But I think
anyway,
you could never have, you wouldn't be the person you are today without those adventures.
Yeah, no, I mean it's. I mean, my dad tried to persuade me out of them, but yeah. But anyway, it is what it is. I think if everybody took the sort of the attitude that I won't take any risks, I think the world would be a poorer place for it, basically. So.
Unfortunately, you did come home.
And we worked out.
You always start your books with a special moment. For your next book, Found My Virginity, can you think about what that special moment might be?
I think it has to be becoming an astronaut, which is something that I've been planning for 13 years. I mean, the idea that we'll have our own spaceship to go up in and go into space. It'll be a culmination of, almost a culmination of a lifetime's work, and I'm looking forward one day to going up with you and Sam as well. I don't think your mum's going to want to come, but and looking back on this beautiful Earth, and then starting a sort of a whole new era of space travel for many people who are watching this program. So we should be an exciting year ahead. So the next book might be quite sooner than you would expect.
So thank you very much, Dad. That was brilliant.
Well done. I think she's got a new career.
Finding My Virginity is out next month on
We
paperback.
Economy by Holly Branson.
That was lovely.
Great.
First interview.
Wonderful.
With each other,
Well done.
tick.
Brilliant.
That was great. Shake your hand.
Well done.
I go back to calling you Richard.
Yeah.